Good evening. I am Daksh. I am the founder of Blub World magazine, which basically creates content for teenagers. And our focus of our work is teenagers inspiring teenagers. So we try to find teens who are doing great in life and share their stories with other teens. So while doing this process, every once in a while, we try to take out industry white papers where we try to gather the learnings of K-12 school leaders about what innovations they are doing at their end, at the school's end, and what new and different things are going on in the K-12 sector. During this lockdown, we are all facing a very new kind of a scenario where things are changing, the dynamics of education is changing. So at this point, what innovative, new, different mode of engagement are you using to connect with your students, or any kind of activities that you are doing which are engaging your students more? Just to give you an example of what kind of ideas we are looking at, is there's one school in Padua in West Bengal, which is a very small village, and they do not have good internet. So how would they continue learning? So what they've done is they've told their students to create their custom dictionaries when they're at home, where they add 5 new words every day. And when the school starts, they bring back those dictionaries with them. And that's the students learning without internet going on. We today have a very special guest for you who will typically start today's conversation. We have with us Surashri Rahane, who heads the education vertical for HP in India. So let's first hear it from Surashri, and then we'll start with all of you. So over to Surashri for the next 3 minutes.
Thank you, Daksh. And with me, we also have Bimal Sahakumar, who is our head for marketing for education in India. So Bimal would also be adding at the end of this. So good afternoon, everyone. It is a pleasure having all of you on the call, and thank you, Daksh, for inviting all of us. And this is a great forum, which I believe is not just the need of the hour, but this particular change is here to stay. This particular change is here to stay till the foreseeable future, right? And we at HP are also striving really hard on finding solutions of how to combat, and not just combat, how to effectively use the tools that are available in forms of devices, the tools that are available online, to provide a much effective teaching and learning ecosystem for students. And when I say the most effective teaching and learning ecosystem for students, we have come up with some solutions which are the virtual classroom solutions during these particular times, which does not just include our hardware. So you would all be familiar that HP is predominantly a hardware organization. We have our Chromebooks, our laptops, printers, and all of these things. But this just then becomes second part of the conversation. The first part of the conversation is there are so many free tools available online. There are so many free content available online. And are the teachers and the students really efficient in using all of these tools for creating a great distance learning ecosystem? Are the students and teachers familiar with the free online content that is available, and are they not? And that is where we come into the picture. That is what we are helping the education institutions, the educators, as well as the parents do ahead. And that is the reason we have a pronged approach into this. The first prong into this is teacher training. We are helping the teachers with training on different tools that are available online, including your G Suite for Education and your Microsoft tools and your tools like Classera and Coursera. Apart from that, there are many free content available from HP. If you will visit HP Live, which is again from HP Foundation, there is a lot of content available for teenagers. The same thing Daksh was talking about earlier, right? We want teenagers to empower the teenagers to learn something new. We want them to make use of the current time that they have to upgrade themselves. So all these things are available. All these things is something that we are sharing. I will share all details with Daksh going forward, which he can share with you all as well with the links. And these are available free of cost. Okay, these are available free of cost. There is one more website, which is Bulb app, where teachers and students can make the digital profiles, because this is a good time right now, right? Everybody has some time in their hand. They're sitting in their houses. They are, cleaning out their cupboards. They know what has been their certifications in various senses. So they can go ahead and create digital portfolio into it as well. So into the HP School Pack, which is our offering for school, all the Bulb Ed app is also free. So all of these links I'll be sharing. Apart from this, we have also started a HP Financial Service offering, which offers DaaS solutions. So not just the teacher trainings, but all the hardware, starting from 724 rupees per month per student. in that sense. Because of course, once the first phase is done, which is the tools, the second phase is that do you have the right devices to have a collaborative ecosystem. So for those tools as well, we have started device as a service specifically for this particular time. So I would love to hear from all of you what you are doing into this time, which is new, and take it forward as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Surashri, for those thoughts. Uh, there are a lot of platforms right now. We're having a lot of good technological support to the school ecosystem and without absolute no cost. So this is a good time for every educationist or school leader to typically explore as much as he can, because this change is going to be there. Things have to be the right options that fit our needs. So now let's hear the education version of it, or the K-12 version of what are you doing in this lockdown to engage your students and your parents better. Let's start with, just give me a moment. Okay, so let's now hear it from Rajendra ji. Sir, you had joined the call first. So let's hear it from you. The next 2 minutes are yours. Give us your introduction, one learning that you have learned at this point of time during this lockdown, and most important, one activity or something innovative that you're doing that other schools can learn from you. Over to you for the next 2 minutes. Over to Rajendra ji.
Hello and namaste. Myself Rajendra Gurung from Nepal. In fact, we are in lockdown. In our country. It is 25th day, so we're having tough time out here. The one thing I must recon is that we got to be more tech savvy, because so far we have been impressing mostly on the physical classes. Even though there were technologies, we did not give a lot of thinking on that. But suddenly this lockdown came in, and the life has been changing throughout the world, and we have been doing something new. For example, the very next day the lockdown started off, we were supposed to have our class 10's board examinations. So as there was no board exam, and the kids got stuck up with all this stuff, and what we did was at least they had a smartphone, and we made a WhatsApp group, and whatever problems they have in the learning and preparation for the board examinations. So the teachers have given them time. For example, morning 8 to 10, they can come in live. They can talk to the teachers. They can ask to solve the problems, or else they drop their questions, and then next day or the evening, whatever time for the teachers, they come in and they solve the kids' problems. That is how we have been doing. And as we have been after the annual examinations, we are in a break. Next week is supposed to open our school. I think it's not possible now. What we were thinking about is we have begun preparation on Google Classes. So that is one option we are having. And even senior classes, they are going to start off with the Zoom classes. I think one more thing beyond the classroom is that I don't think we can confine only in the classroom activities or physical classrooms. I think they are learning so many things beyond our expectations. For example, they are learning the healthcare. They're learning to support the people. They're learning to be empathic towards the whole world, because the whole world is suffering. So I think as a whole, it's a big opportunity for everybody else, like educators like you and me. And especially, I would like to thank you all, because we have been here to share our problems and our challenges and opportunities too. So I think in days to come, and as you already been, Dax already been informing us the new things that are happening. I think we're going to apply that. Anyway, thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rajendra, for sharing your perspective and your experience on what's all happening in Nepal. Just 4 days back, we had one principal from some school in Nepal. They're doing a very small innovative activity. They've started a class called Problem Solving Engineering. They're telling their students that find the problem that your mom faces every day in the kitchen and find the engineering solution to it and share that with us over a WhatsApp. Do a small write-up on that and share it. It could be an imagination, doesn't matter. But your problem-solving skill must get used. And people are doing amazing with that as well. They're collecting a lot of good ideas. And from P. Ravi Shankarji, over to you, sir, for the next 2 minutes. Share us your experience, your introduction, where you've been working, and most important, one learning that you've got, and one vision or an idea that other schools can learn from you. Over to you for the next 2 minutes.
Good evening, everyone. I'm P. Ravi Shankar, working with Academic Heights Public School. It is the house of Bachchan Play School. The corporate office is based on Densden, Delhi. So, our kids has launched one app that is Try Prefect on 13th of April this month, and it is India's first app, school app. It's especially for the stakeholders of the organization like parents, students, teachers, and franchisee and corporate officers. So through that app, we are learning. Students are learning videos, audios, and etc. are uploaded in that. And we have classes from play to play means play group, nursery, KG1, KG2, and 1 to 12. For every class, there are books, e-books are there in the app, and only that book. So students are learning from that book, and uh, the schools have the facility to upload the PDF files, videos, audios, etc. So our teachers of they are preparing the notes, and alternate days they have that Zoom meeting also with the students, class 10th and 9th especially. And for other classes also we are planning to provide this type of notes, etc., assignments. And worksheets are also there. After completion of one chapter or one content, the students have to get print out of that worksheets, and they'll fill that. And the schools will be open in the month of June probably. So they will submit their worksheets and their notebooks to the teachers, and they will do that. Especially the junior students and Bachchan school. We have the talking books, means speak up. So students of playgroup and nursery, they are learning poems, etc. with that speak up pen. When they touch the pen to the book or particular line, the book will speak. So in that way, they are learning.
Okay, so audiobooks have been working for you well, and you're using an in-house app that's been given by Bachchan. Okay, thank you so much. Any innovative thing or any innovative assignment that you've given right now to your students?
Students of senior classes from 6 to 12, they are going through the contents, books, chapters, whatever chapters are there, first chapter, second chapter, and they are finding out the answers also.
Okay, so
and in the Zoom meeting, these are being discussed with the teachers.
Okay, so flip learning again is working along with it. There are a lot of schools who are doing a very interesting thing who do not have such apps and other stuff. What they're doing is they're creating 60-minute lesson teaser promos. Within 60 seconds, the teacher tells within a video that how this chapter is engaging and interesting for you. And it's made in such a way that the student then wants to actually learn that chapter. Then he goes back, studies that, comes back in such a Zoom call, and then he teaches the teacher different aspects of the same lesson. So it's flip learning, working in a media-centric way where you have to use a lot of your celebrity skills to engage the student. So that's working very well for a lot of teachers. So let's now hear it, ma'am. I cannot read your name. What I can see is Mubdara Services. Over to you for the next 2 minutes. You will have to unmute yourself. Give us an introduction of yourself, from where you are, from which school you are. What interesting have you learned during this time, and one activity or any innovation that other schools can learn from you. Over to you for the next 2 minutes.
Okay, greetings to everyone. This is Mrs. Tamanna Rahman. I'm from Guwahati. I represent the school Springdale International School. We are CBSE affiliated school, and the main challenge which we faced, actually none of our teachers were tech savvy. They have been working face to face with the students directly, and there were senior teachers also who were really reluctant on the idea of having the virtual class when we as the trustee members and the management have decided. I had the PR team and for branding and promotion of our school, and also the middle school management. We have from the pre-primary to class 12, we have students we are affiliated. And the interesting thing, first, the challenge which we faced was convincing first the teachers, how to download the things, how they can convert the documents into PDF. So it was a task for the HR team and the PR team to make them understand, and we really got the support for the whole team. And the best part which we really are liking is that from 8 onwards, the students are very serious. They're understanding the whole concept of virtual classes, how to go about it. The mid school is a little bit notorious. They don't understand what's going on. They'll try to keep their video off. So to keep them engaged, we do such kind of things like, send us pictures like while taking your classes. Ask your parents to take pictures who is attending properly, and then again we do like we give a feedback after the class. The parents give the the teacher give the feedbacks, who was attentive, who responded properly. So this is an immediate reaction because everyone likes to be appreciated. Then immediately the students will be like, ma'am, how was our response? And even the parents, they will write, ma'am, hum logo bachcho ne acha nahi kiya. But then we come up to the idea is that acha bura nahi. It's basically we want to understand how attentive you are in the class, because then we also have started taking PTM in the virtual classes only. Along with the daily timetable, we create one PTM time so that parents come in and make them understand why it is very essential for them to also understand, the virtual class is a window of 40 minutes if people are using free applications like Zoom. Okay, so they don't understand, again looking up to that. Okay, my time is already up. So we have various other such things which we are doing. I hope I have given some input. Maybe we can wind up later on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tamanna ma'am. I think one of your points would actually go to the white paper, where you have started making your teachers to give reviews of the students, that how are they doing in the class. This is a very good way of doing positive benchmarking.
That is really working out. That is really working out.
Please share whatever learnings you get during this time, or your observations, or the kind of results that you get out of it. We'll try to take this to the white paper. And please share your observations during this time. It's a very good point. Other schools can also do it. That tell your teachers to review students at this point, how engaging or attentive they are at the moment in the class. Something very small, but that will help you a lot while you're taking virtual classes, because virtual classes have a big limitation that you cannot use your body language. The only thing that you can use is your voice and the video that you've got. So is difficult times for engaging your students. Thank you so much, Tamanna ma'am. Again, now let's hear it from Prajapita Panigrahi ji. Sir, over to you for the next 2 minutes. I think I'm reading your name wrong. I'm sorry if I've read it wrong. Give us your introduction, one learning and one activity, innovation or vision that other schools can learn from you. You'll have to unmute your audio first and then you can start speaking.
Good afternoon, everybody. Distinguished speaker present in this forum. This is Pradipta Kishore Panigrahi. I am from Odisha. I head the school called Lakshmipad Singhania Public School. It's a school attached to the JK Paper Mills in a district called Rayagada in Odisha. Everybody was able to listen my introduction? Yeah, okay. So I would like to, after written no lockdown on teaching, right? But I would like to add one more word to that: no lockdown to teaching and learning. Since the lockdown, we have done, many schools are doing also this regular stuff like online classes, results we have submitted to the students to online, because our results were not out for certain classes, like 9th and 11th results were out. Other classes results were not out. We have done it online. Then created WhatsApp classrooms, started teaching by Zoom, and made use of some apps which are free, which are provided by CBSE and other organizations like Swayam, Diksha, and all. We have started sharing the e-books of the prescribed by school and CRT books to the e-books to the students. Teachers have created contents through YouTube and shared it using Google Classrooms and Teams. And we have an ERP also. We use EduNext ERP that's working fine to share the contents to the parents and students. One of the first thing when school start we do is assembly. I'm not sure you will surprise or you won't surprise. We do assembly also through Zoom app. Like we start with a prayer. We do quiz of the day. We do new words of the day. Sometimes teachers talk. Sometimes I at the assembly, and the student also is allowed to do it for 10 minutes. So the student feels that's a real classroom. Then apart from curriculum, in curriculum we do as per the schedule. We take 2 to 3 classes every day by Zoom. Prior to that, teachers share videos which are created by using YouTube, and based on the videos, students are asked to ask their doubts. Apart from this curriculum, most of the schools are doing that, and CBSE also has taken an initiative for holistic education. Recently, we have got a circular from CBSE for health and physical education, and the celebrities are coming and talking about what is physical education, how the students will physically fit during this lockdown. It's an issue. Don't take it down. Boom. There are some steps of yoga can be done, meditation can be done. They can have nutritious food. Basic exercises can be done, and in community they can have some yoga and they can follow some nutritious guidelines that is given by CBSE. And in between the classes, Zoom classes or online classes, we have a transition for 5 to 10 minutes, and we ask the students to do those steps so that they'll be physically fit and they'll break this monotonous that they're attending online classes throughout the day. Apart from physical education, subject enrichment activities are being shared and asked to do the students and submit through WhatsApp. Then the most challenging thing is, now it's okay because all of us we are very close to the summer vacation. If the summer vacation is over, then after the real challenge starts. Suppose the lockdown is extended beyond the.
We had to mute you, sir. Thank you so much for sharing those thoughts. One of your thoughts, assembly over a Zoom call every day and finishing that in 10 minutes is something that we'll try to take forward, because most of the schools at the moment are not doing their assemblies over call. We had to mute you. We'll try to take your thoughts if it's possible in the second round. Let's hear it from everybody else who's here. Let's hear it from Jyotsna ma'am. Ma'am, over to you for the next 2 minutes. Thank you so much, sir. Stay with us. Jyotsna ma'am, over to you for the next 2 minutes. You'll have to unmute your audio first and then you can speak. Your introduction, some learning that you got during this time, and one big or small innovation that other schools can learn from you. Over to you.
Yeah, a very good evening to all of you. First of all, I would like to thanks to the Blur that has given me the chance to join this webinar on no lockdown on the learning. As we know that most of the education institute and schools are closed in India and other countries because of the COVID-19 lockdown. The teachers are instructed by their organization to conduct the online classes. As we are going to discuss important things related to the conducting online classes that will be helped to the teachers. So I would like to give some tips for the teachers how to conduct these classes online. We will try to explore and answer the following some of the questions related to conducting online classes during the COVID-19. Because of the COVID-19 lockdown, most of the educational institutes in the India are closed. But during this lockdown, the portion of the syllabus could be completed by conducting the online classes. This will help the teachers to cover the syllabus after the educational institution reopens. Basically, conducting exam on the time will help them maintain the flow of study for the students. In addition, students will be engaged in studies during their lockdown. For this, what we can do? You can inform students through the email or WhatsApp about the time and the topic of the online class. You can also stream your videos tutorial live on the YouTube. After the tutorial, you can answer students' questions by WhatsApp by using the group chat. Follow this by sharing the related assignments on the Google Classrooms also. Collect the email addresses and contact numbers to all of the students and create a group of the students. through which the teachers want to conduct online classes. Prepare before the actual online class. It is best to rehearse offline before your class starts.
Thank you so much for those thoughts. We'll try to take those again in the white paper. Let's hear it from Krishna, Priya ma'am.
Thank you very much, sir. So I am really thankful to all of you that you have called us for this innovative idea is there where we have to share. Sir, I belong to Dhamra. I am the headmistress or principal of Dhamra, Adani Devi, Dhamra Port. If also it is a remote area, but we are not remote in our technology. So our children, they are doing their classes online. For that, we are providing timetable as well as what the teachers are doing. We have made Google Forms. In that Google format, after taking the class, we need to submit their whole day's work. And it is coming to my email where I can take it as a note in the Excel sheet. And that can be also talked to my higher authorities. Number 2 is after taking classes for a certain period of time, they are given one assessment test. Okay, that is again made in Google, and the children are asked to answer questions and the marks are given. But one innovation here is if a child is repeating the test in the same, in an unfair means, that is coming on in a different color. If once in a go he is submitting the answer, it is coming in black. But if he is submitting the answer by unfair means, then it is coming red, blue, likewise. So we can post that screenshot in that forum in WhatsApp group, and the child knows he is going in unfair means or going in a fair means, as well as the parents. Every class is having a WhatsApp group, and we all are sharing our thoughts and all, and Zoom meeting with the parents, with individual class teachers and subject teachers, and along with all this, we need to give them feedback every week. And on Sunday, we hold all skill classes like dance, art, as well as PT, like aerobics and all. Video and audio is done and is shared with all groups depending on the label, and children used to do it, and they post the video and audio as well in the same forum, which is shared to each and every one. We appreciate. Only one more I'll be saying, sir. You said about lockdown. I have abbreviated in a different way. Lower care kicks demon of host nature. That is COVID-19. So we are not afraid of COVID. Rather, we are prepared for every host. We are deviants. We are not afraid of any kind of things. We will be doing, and we will continue to serve the nation because we are nation builders. People used to say for nation savers, 5 savers, that is a lot each is done. But what about nation builders? Never a simple sentence. That is the each. Teachers are only made these doctors to save the life. Thank you very much, and God bless everybody. Stay safe.
I think one of your points can actually go again to the white paper is that every Sunday do a small skill class via some videos. Because a lot of schools at this moment have started taking academic sessions online. The major focus is on how to complete the course. But doing skill classes on a Sunday is again something that a lot of schools are not doing. A very nice and a simple idea that we can all do or start at this very point, because all the schools have in-house teachers, for cultural activities, for a lot of different activities. It's a good time to engage them.
One thing more I want to add. We also force children to go for epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata, which has been initiated. And a quiz is done also on that Sunday, and a score sheet is made, and children are given marks. So not only children, parents and teachers all are involved. Thank you. Thank you.
A lot of my
nice
quizzes right now are going on.
Yeah.
There is one school, I forgot the city of that school. They've started a very nice activity just for this. They've told their students to talk to their parents every day and tell them to give them one good learning from whichever religious scripture they follow.
Correct.
So what we are getting that school is getting right now is a lot of moral science coming from mythology, from all sorts of diverse religions. So they are
Actually,
also creating a good repository and new moral science
and that is
curriculum.
the need of the hour also. That is need of the
Absolutely.
hours. We're going away from values.
Absolutely.
Very nice talking to you.
I think
Very
this Sunday skill class is something that can be replicated. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, ma'am.
Thank you
Now
so
let's hear from Padmanav sir for the next 2 minutes. Padmanav sir, over to you for the next 2 minutes. You'll have to unmute yourself, your introduction, one learning and one idea that other schools can learn from you. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, everybody. This is Padmanav, Principal Darshan Academy, Sundargarh. And these are the chain of schools run by Darshan Education Foundation, New Delhi. And this school is located in Sundargarh district. And being the remotest place of Odisha, you know, the communication channels are meager here. So by virtue of our master, Sant Rajinder Singh Ji Maharaj, who has opened 25 schools all over India, the benchmark, the USP of the school is the school starts with meditation. And our tagline is, we prepare peacemakers. We make the peacemakers. So teach peace and reach peace. That is the tagline. And in this COVID juncture, where the schools are closed and the parents are the teachers now, and the teachers are away, and the mentoring is done through this communication channels, assisted aids. So I think this leads to the logical era of being a disciple of like Ekalavya. And this is less than that age, and the students are more compatible, they are more savvy than our teachers and even principals. They used to handle the devices more at their fingertips than us. And in this juncture, I want to say that we introduced one thing. We take the morning assembly, also as some of our colleagues told, we start meditating, and the students and teachers meditate, and they share the videos in the end of the session. And this is one. Another thing, because you know, learning is not simply related to classroom learning or textual learning. So experiential learning is the basic need of the hour. And this COVID-19 shutdown has given, or it is a blessing in disguise, to devote the students to experiential learning. Even we introduced to write introspection diaries for bed. This is one of our part of our spiritual curriculum. The students used to write introspection diary consisting of their good doings and bad doings, not hiding any fact. And they prepare the diary as per our guidelines. They fill it up in the month end, they share it. Now, in the end of the month, they will share it. And we'll study that the way they are doing, whether they are mending their own ways or they are hiding their own ways. This is one. The next part of our learning is we also motivate them to involve themselves in culinary arts. That is cooking. Nowadays, kitchens are not only for cooking, these are the scientific laboratories of the world. The best inventions have happened in the kitchens, and the culinary art is very easy, and this is also enriching their experience. And whenever a student goes to the hostel life and he or she complains about the cooking, the foods being cooked and served, so this way they can help themselves while being in a mess or in a hostel. So this is second thing I want to add. And I am not going into the basic and technicality of this Zoom, all these things. All the schools are happening. I apprehend that our remote people, I wish they could be.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing those thoughts. I think one of your ideas can actually go to the white paper, which is an introspective diary. A lot of diary writing is happening right now in a lot of schools, but the adding of this small little thing that let's also have an introspection version to it. Let those kids introspect and understand what actually is introspection for them. So it's a good idea, sir. We can absolutely take it to the white paper. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. So I hope it was a good interaction with all of you who have shared some very good ideas with us. So before this call comes to an end and we take the closing thoughts of Surashri, who's with us from HP today. So I want to share two ideas with you. First one, which we are all experiencing, that during this lockdown, the way of communication has drastically changed. But most of the education technology companies, which are supposed to solve education problems and which were supposed to be super point, what they're solving is not education problems. What they're solving is communication problems. And as far as technology or tech products are supposed to visualize this scenario, there need to be a change in the way tech or the corporate interacts with education at the time. Because this is a good introspection time for themselves as well. Because at this point, the leaders for EdTech are two companies which were not supposed to be education technology companies. The first one being WhatsApp and the second being Zoom. Their main focus was never education, and right now they are leading the sector and nobody else is. So it is a good time for them to, and for schools to understand what things do you need from an education technology company. What are the needs that get solved? Are they just communication, or you need some kind of content, you need some kind of assessment, and how do you need it? This is a good time for a school to analyze its needs, and a good time for science and technology companies to understand how to use these needs in a seamless fashion. The reason why Google is always better than most of the EdTech products is because of its intuitive user experience, where you get yourself immersed into it and you don't have to learn it. Because most of the ERP solutions that schools get, you have to train your teacher to use them. So it should not be a case with technology. Technology has to be intuitive. You have to go into it just once. So that's one perspective to it. Now, adding the second point, and this is actually the most important point before this talk concludes, these things are food for your thoughts. When we come next or meet next, I have some more good ideas from you, which we can take to a lot more people. At this point, what we can understand after nearly talking to 125 school leaders till now, the kind of skills and of the character of a teacher and the character of a student will drastically change post this lockdown. We are right now in a corona or a lockdown world. There will be a post lockdown or a post corona world when we'll all come back to normal. I don't know when, but there will be a time, and I hope it comes soon. How would your student change after this experience? How would your teacher change? And most importantly, just delivering content or information won't be a big skill for a teacher anymore, because technology can do that. So the skills of a teacher have to be re-evaluated and re-understood, that what you need from a teacher. And second and most important, it's going to get difficult to engage your student, because he's going to get super tech savvy and he'll know a lot many more things. And so the first skill that you need to give him, which is very difficult, is creativity. Not in the sense of colors in paintings, but in the sense of critical thinking, divergent thinking. And second and most important is wisdom, of him being able to understand what's good for him and what's bad for him. Because most of the tech products as on date are not able to do is student policing or monitoring. You're not able to monitor what a kid actually does on technology. Once you give him access, he has the access and he's the one who controls the codes. It's good in a way, but if you want to give him the control, give him the wisdom to know what to control and how to control it. And these two skills will be very difficult to decipher in the coming times, because technology cannot do these two. Only humans can do these two, and that's where humans get better than tech. So let's reevaluate those things. But at this point, what we can understand, technology has been the biggest enabler. It has helped us continue with everything, and it has kept all of us calm and on our tracks. So let's thank technology for that, and let's evaluate and understand it better for a better future for ourselves. Now, for the concluding thoughts, let's hear it from Surashri for the next 2 minutes. Over to you, Surashri.
Thank you, Daksh. So this was such a good discussion, and gave us a lot of insights as well, because I personally work with a lot of educators, looking at what their needs are and what content is available and what kind of tech they need to support that content and everything. And I really right? This is I heard from a lot of teachers before as well, that when the students are in school, we have PT classes and we have arts and craft classes. How do we take that online? And with the innovative solutions that you guys are working on right now, from meditation to introspective diaries to having morning assemblies, it is a very good mix of DIY things which the institute themselves can take care of it. So this is something really amazing. Into this, the second factor that I want to touch on is, we talked about educators and students. One main stakeholder that we are missing into this entire discussion are the parents. Okay, what are we doing into this entire ecosystem to enable the parents, because they are there at home with the kids, they are there at home with the students, and because and this is the feedback that I've received from the parents, right? There are so many online classes which are happening, and the parents majority of the time, either both of them are working, or the mother has a lot of things to take care in the household, and so she cannot sit with the child for the entire time when the online classes are going on, and to complete the tasks that are given after the online classes. And so a lot of their time is getting invested into it, which in general they would maybe invest into their work or into their household chores as well. So how do you solve for this particular issue is also something that maybe we all can think about. And if there are some ideas around this, I would love to get in touch with Daksh again and discuss on how we can solve for this as well, because we at HP are also looking at an overall ecosystem solution of how to make it entirely comfortable for each and every individual, each and every stakeholder. So those are the closing thoughts from my end. And at the end, I would like to say one more thing, that we at HP are there to help all of you in any of your needs, from your content to your free online tools training to your hardware needs. And if you feel that you need anything, you can just get in touch with us. I will be mailing all of the details to Daksh, and Daksh will be mailing it across to you guys as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Surasri, for those thoughts. I hope a lot of you might be putting in a lot of research into this at this point of time, because the ecosystem right now is in the perfect stage to, give it the right ingredient to chew upon. This is the time when solutions have to come in, which have to give the right experience at this point of time. A lot of people are helping the education ecosystem, but the reason why we are doing this talk and trying to hear it from all of you is, every small little change has to be made big if it's positive. Whatever positive, innovative, new, different you are doing right now, try to share it with us. We'll share it with a lot of more schools. I hope we'll be able to share results that come out of your small innovations. So once this white paper comes, whatever thoughts you have given, they'll be published with your name, your school and everything, because we want to keep the idea track of where it came from and to what it has become. So we are trying to build that whole ecosystem of how ideas actually get transferred and transform the education sector. I hope you enjoyed today's talk, and if you want to attend such more, and if you enjoyed this today's one, open your audio, say a big yes, and if you have any more comments, then we will get in touch. You can share it with us on a message. We'll take that, share whatever new you have. We are doing a small competition called India's Most Creative Schools. So if you're doing anything creative at this point, you, your students, your teachers, anybody, your parents, any stakeholder, tell them to share that with us, and we'll award those schools. Thank you so much for participating. If you enjoy, say a big yes, and thank you so much for being with us today this evening.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank you. Have
It
a
is
great
very
day.
nice.
Stay safe.
Thank you
Very
so
helpful.
much.
Thank you.